Welcome to SBJ's Executive Insight. I'm Abe Madkour. We are all seeing the active, dynamic marketplace that there is in college sports when it comes to both name, image, and likeness, and just multiple issues in the college space. One company at the center of all of this is Accelerate Sports Ventures. And today we are joined by its founder, Doug Fillis, who has a history in this space. Doug worked at IMG College and at Rutgers. So he put those experiences together to form Accelerate Sports Ventures. And so, Doug, it's great to have you with us here today. And I say that at the top of the segment here, Doug, we're seeing so much, I would say, energy, but both of the sections and both of the segments you're working in have a lot of questions, and there's always a need for a lot of solutions. So what are you doing differently? What's your offering, and how do you differentiate yourself either on the NIL space or in the multimedia rights consulting space?
Yeah, I think you bring up a really great point, because at the end of the day, when athletic directors have problems, they want solutions and they want results. And I've seen it firsthand, right? I've worked with some of the best executives in sports previously, having worked with Tim Pernetti, also working with Tom Glick when I was at New York City FC. So I've been really fortunate to understand and be at the right hand of individuals and know kind of what those leaders are looking for. And so as I go in now, and whether I'm meeting with Pat Kraft at Penn State or Boo Corrigan at NC State, to understand what are the problems and then how can we specifically identify those and provide solutions. So it's highly personalized, right? There's never a time where the head football coach can't get Accelerate on the phone. The head women's basketball coach can't get us on the phone, because there are priorities and issues popping up all the time with NIL. And whether it's 7 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock at night, you've got to be there to deliver those solutions. And so that's the thing that I think has been so great for Accelerate is, working inside an athletic department, you understand the issues that are going to come up from compliance, the external side, the licensing side, but also understanding and having worked with head coaches before, the pressure and priorities that they have. And now with NIL, it's just exacerbated that. And how can you deliver solutions immediately so that we can move forward with everything that we're trying to do as a company, but also as a partner, a trusted partner of the athletic department?
Yeah, so Doug, elaborate on that for a little bit, because the ADs I'm speaking with are talking about things of, educational support in terms of educating their athletes on their options, right? Then it comes down to their issues on contracts. There may be issues related to taxes. You're vetting and looking at potential partnerships and deals. It's really about getting into some of these deals where the questions really surface, right?
Absolutely. And it's being able to navigate that quickly and efficiently. So, because the athletes want to get their answer and be on their way, right? And as do the coaches and the administrators. So all of those things that you mentioned, Abe, we attack and we make sure that we're providing solutions. And I'll just give you one quick example. I mean, we had a potential first round draft pick, right, who's currently in college, and he got offered at a great deal, but two potential mistakes he was about to make were going to cost him $1 million over the term, right? And so we had to jump in and make sure that we helped him immediately. And when I got off the phone with him and called his head football coach, couldn't have been more thankful. Said, "Hey, Doug, I want you to get all of our draft eligible guys in a room and explain what happened so that we can alleviate this from any of our athletes having this mistake." And so that type of trust, that type of collaboration, the fact that the athlete called me, right, and trusted me to help them through this was groundbreaking for Accelerate, because as that starts to get out there, I think the coaches understand who they can trust, who they can lean on. There's a lot of people giving out advice in this space right now. Abe, is one of the things that I would say concerns me, right? You want to have people that you can trust and someone who's looking out solely for the best interest of your school, your athletes, and your coaches.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. As I shift to multimedia rights consultation, Doug, you came from that world. You were in that world at IMG College. As you look to grow the business of Accelerate, and you said at the top of the segment that you're now consulting with Penn State, what are the things that you find that you're uniquely suited to provide, and what are you looking for in terms of the trends of these type of agreements? Because we both know how important these agreements are to the individual institutions and universities.
Yeah, I think multimedia rights is a space that's ripe for disruption, and it's also ripe for disruption on the consulting side, right? And having been on the IMG side and on the school side, I've seen this negotiated from both sides of the table. And so bringing that perspective of knowing, hey, I know where the school wants to go here, I know where the rights holder is trying to go here. I think that's been very helpful, right? So not only from how you set up a deal, the rights of the deal, obviously, monetary, there's a lot of different buckets that can be filled through a multimedia rights agreement. But we also really spend a tremendous amount of time on the rights. And I think that can't be underscored enough, the rights, and then the plan of attack for creating an infrastructure for the rights holder.
As you and I were chatting, I've known you at IMG College. I remember you were at Rutgers. Now you're an entrepreneur, starting your own business, obviously seeing nice success in the business at Accelerate. Where do you see the growth of Accelerate? Where do you see the runway for your company, and even in the collegiate space right now as we end this conversation?
Yeah, we're really fortunate. We've had some nice success with our current partners, and we go really deep in those relationships. Right? It's not a surface level relationship. We're in senior management meetings. Like, we are embedding ourselves to be locking arms with these partners. And as we continue to get great word of mouth in the AD circles, we absolutely see a long-term viability in consulting on NIL. I think marrying it with MMR is something that's going to be really beneficial as we go forward, because countless ADs, have reached out to me and saying, hey, how do we crack this code? How do we put this puzzle together? So really excited about those two opportunities. And then, so many brands have continued to reach out and ask questions of how they take advantage of NIL. That could be in the very near future for us as well, Abe.
Doug, thank you very much for being with us. It's great to see you. And this has been SBJ's Executive Insight with Accelerate Sports Ventures founder, Doug Fillis.